Samarambham Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmad Acharya Paryamtam Vande Guru Paramparam. I salute the lineage of teachers, beginning with Lord Shiva, linked by Shankaracharya in the middle, and extending down to my teacher. Saundaryalahari Kartre Sarva Mangaladayine Shankaracharya Varyaya Yati Rajayate Namaha. There is some echo. Don't know from where.
I would like to know if there's any other device which is signed in.
Are there two devices in your house, Rohini?
No. No device, nothing near me, nothing around me.
Okay, can you talk now?
Yeah. Saundaryalahari Kartre Sarva Mangaladayine Shankaracharya Varyaya Yati Rajayate Namaha. It's fine now. Thank you. So, I begin with the origin of Saundaryalahari. Today's talk is Saundaryalahari and all-round success. So I have to pack the entire thing in, I think, 45 minutes. Hope we'll be able to do justice. So we will start with the origin of Saundaryalahari. Adi Shankaracharya, on his pilgrimages, so he was all the time going on different pilgrimages. So what happens, he once went to Kailasa. When he went to Kailasa, he meets Sakshat Parvati and Parameshwara. He was blessed to have the darshan of Parameshwara and Parvati. And when he goes there, Parameshwara gives him 5 Spatika lingas. Shankara has come, so Parameshwara wants to give him something and he offers 5 Spatika lingas. And Parvati gives him a sheaf of palm leaves, the palm leaf manuscripts. Parvati gives it to Adi Shankaracharya. And what is there in the palm leaf manuscripts? There were 100 verses, 100 shlokas which were there in those palm leaf manuscripts, which was given to Parvati by Parameshwara. Parameshwara had composed 100 hymns, 100 verses praising Parvati. And he had given it to he had given it to Parvati. And now Parvati hands it over to Adi Shankaracharya and says, please take this and present it to the world so that all of them in the world, all the people in the world will get benefited. Whoever reads that Saundaryalahari will be blessed. This is the message that Parvati gives to Adi Shankara and hands over the palm leaf manuscripts. And then now Acharya takes this and sets out from Kailasa, taking with him the 5 Spatika lingas and the palm leaf manuscripts. As he was leaving, Nandikeshwara, who is keeping a watch at the gate, at the entrance, we have Nandikeshwara. He saw the palm leaves in the hands of Acharya. He did not worry about this Spatika linga, but he saw the palm leaves Immediately Nandikeshwara gets very angry. He is upset. And there is a saying that even if the deity gives you, the pujari will not grant you a boon. The deity may give it, the pujari will not give it to you. So Nandikeshwara gets upset because he was thinking that the entire treasure of Kailasa was being lost. So Nandikeshwara gets into a fight with, not exactly a fight, it is just a...
Your call has been unmuted ಅಂತ ಇದೆ.
Mute ಮಾಡು.
Kindly mute yourselves. I can hear someone speaking. Please mute yourself.
ಮ್ಯೂಟ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ಅದೇ ಮ್ಯೂಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡಿರು ಅಷ್ಟೇ.
ಹೊರಟ ಹೋಯ್ತು, ಚಿತ್ರಾನೇ ಹೊರಟೋಯ್ತು.
ಚಿತ್ರ ಬರುತ್ತೆ, ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ನೆಟ್ ಹೋಗಿದ್ರೆ ಬರಲ್ಲ.
Kindly mute yourselves.
So Nandikeshwara was distressed that the Mantra Shastra, which is a very, very great treasure, it was being lost. So Nandikeshwara snatched it, he pulled it, the palm leaf manuscript from Acharya. And in the process, what happens? The 100 verses which were handed over by Parvati to Acharya, Nandikeshwara holds on to the first 41 is with Acharya and the other 59, the later 59 goes with Nandikeshwara. So a major part goes to Nandikeshwara and Acharya has just 41 with him out of the 100. So the first 41 with Acharya, which is called Anandalahari, and the remaining 59 went to Nandikeshwara. Now Acharya was very, very unhappy, very upset that what the world mother gave, Acharya lost it even before he could present it to the world. Because Shankara is Shankaram, Loka Shankaram, he is called. Shamkaro iti Shankaraha. Sham karoti iti Shankaraha. Sham means auspicious. Mangala. The one who does only good is called Shankara. And this Shankara is Shankara, Loka Shankara. So his main aim is only to work for the welfare of the people. And this Loka Shankara now, whatever mother, the world mother, had trusted and given it to him, he lost it. So Shankara was very, very upset. He lamented. And it's okay if he lost it after he had given it to the world. But now he felt bad because he was not even able to give it to the world. And at this moment, when he was totally upset, there was a commanding voice which he heard. He's sitting, feeling very bad, and then there is a voice which he heard. And that was Amba's voice, loud voice, telling him, you compose yourself the 59 verses which you have lost. This is my resolve. That's all. Amba's voice was firm. It was commanding, asking Shankara to compose all the other 59 verses which Nandikeshwara had snatched. At once, the moment Amma commanded, stanzas poured out of Acharya's mouth. So verses 42 to 100 were composed by Adi Shankaracharya. And verses 42 to 100 were called Saundarya Lahari, which describes the Saundarya, the beauty of that mother, waves of beauty, Saundarya Lahari, starting from Kesha, means the hair, to Pada, to feet. The 59 verses, they talk about Amma's beauty, that divine mother's beauty, from the hair to the feet, Pada, Keshadi Pada. And that is Saundarya Lahari. But all the 100 together are also called Saundarya Lahari. But the first 41 is the original given by Parameshwara, which was there in the original manuscript. 42 to 100 is what Adi Shankaracharya composed. So the meter of, okay, so now this is what is Saundarya Lahari. Saundarya Lahari, it actually, it is, and it was a smooth flow of devotion by Adi Shankaracharya. There was no stop. It just flowed out of his mouth, and heightened flight of imagination. So beautiful. When we do a few verses today, we will know. Such great affectionate flow of devotion, heightened flight of imagination was this compilation in praise of Tripura Sundari. And chanting of these verses. Now, what is in it for us? Why are we attending this Saundarya Lahari, all-round success? Why are we even there in this satsang? The main thing is, as the topic itself given to us, all-round success. Through these verses, one can obtain, one can get wealth, you can get learning, you can get riches, you can get victory over enemies. You can be cured of incurable diseases, chronic ailments. You name it, you will have a solution for it in the Saundarya Lahari. So what is in it for us? Whatever you want is there in it for us. Anything and everything. And many people practice these shlokas in order to please. They keep on practicing, they keep on chanting to please Devi for the fulfillment of all the worldly desires. And it is not just the material desires, but also your spiritual desires will be fulfilled if you chant. Even not necessary to chant all the 100, just one with bhakti, one with devotion. Now, so the moment you chant, will you be guaranteed success? Success depends on, or success, I will say, is directly proportional to the faith and the devotion that you have. It depends on the faith and the devotion of the sadhaka. So you have faith, you have devotion, then success is guaranteed. If there is a delay, so you are chanting these mantras and then you have not achieved what you wanted to, then
when you put on your earphones or turn it off.
Can everybody mute? There is some one or two of them who are, yeah. So it depends on the faith and the devotion. So if there is delay in the result, then it only means that you just have to continue to do with more and more faith and more devotion, the chanting. Plus, just the chanting is not going to work. Your effort also has to be there. It is like if a bird has to fly, then you need 2 wings. Same way here, if you want success, all-round success, then one is your effort for the success. You have to do what you have to do. That is 50%. One wing of the bird. The other wing is Daiva Anugraha, the grace of the Lord. And how do you get the grace of the Lord? That is the other wing. How to get the grace of the Lord is by prayers. So whenever you pray, prayer is an action. Prayer is an action. Every action has a phala. Prayer is an action and every action has a karma phala. So you will get a phala, a result for your action. And what is that result for the prayer? Grace. That is what we call grace. That is what some of us call luck. And for that grace, for that luck, we have to chant and do all this. The other is your effort. Put in your effort. But most of the times, even if you put in your effort, if Daiva Anugraha is not there, if that grace is not there, that kripa from the divine is not there, then you cannot be successful. So today we will see So today we will see a few verses from the Saundarya Lahari. There are 100 verses, but we will see how many we can see in the next 20 minutes, 25 minutes we have, I think. And according to the Kurma Purana, just as the water, what is the inherent quality of water? Is to put out fire. The quality of water is to put out fire. What is the inherent quality of sunlight? To remove darkness. In the same way, in Kali Yuga, the name of Devi, just the Nama Sankirtana, the name of Devi is enough, is capable of destroying all the sins. All the sins will be destroyed just by chanting the name of the Devi. According to Kurma Purana, this is what is given. In the Satya Yuga, that's why, so Devi's, what is it? Yeah, Devi's power is so great. That's why what happened in the Satya Yuga, all the Devas, they invoke the power of Devi before entering into the battle with the Daityas. Before entering into the battle with the demons, all the Devas, they invoked Devi. And they were successful. That was in Satya Yuga. In Treta Yuga, what did Rama do? He performed Navaratri, 9 days. Durga Puja, Navadurga Puja, worship of Devi. To invoke the power of Shakti, even before he set his foot to Lanka. Even before he set his foot on Lanka, in Treta Yuga, Rama worshipped Devi. Then coming to Dwapara Yuga. In the Dwapara Yuga, Arjuna invoked Devi. Krishna tells him, Arjuna, just before you go there, do a Durga Puja. And in the Dwapara Yuga, Arjuna invoked Devi before entering the Mahabharata war. And now we all are in the Kali Yuga. So what we are supposed to do? See, in the Kali Yuga, Adi Guru Shankaracharya, he invoked Devi. And when did he invoke Devi? See, he composed because he was commanded. And then he invoked Devi when he was in great distress. To avert an illness, he invoked Devi. Because he had to accomplish some more things, and then he invokes Devi and he's cured of some illness. And with this, so we are all in Kali Yuga. And we need all-round success. And so we chose Saundarya Lahari, all-round success as the topic. And we will see a few verses now. And Devi symbolizes immense wealth, unlimited power, name, fame, glamour, all that. Who doesn't want all this? All of us want this. And it is most relevant for us today. Saundarya Lahari, this is Stuti. The praise is most relevant to us because it can help us come out of all kinds of crises. All kinds of crises. See, one is, as I said, material wealth, all that you will get. Then grief, loss, disease, daridra, avidya, whatever you have, jada, so many things, laziness, fear, worry, anxiety, frustration, tension, everything. You can come out of everything, depression. You name it, and there is a shloka for that in Saundarya Lahari. Disappointment, it can be mental conflict, anything. Answer is there in Saundarya Lahari. Only thing is, we have to chant, get Daiva Anugraha, plus also make the effort, just like the 2 wings of the bird. Then we can fly high. So with this, we will just start. And Saundarya Lahari, all the 100 verses are having a meter, a chandas. So every line, so it will only have 4 lines, 4 padas, 4 lines. Each line will have 17 syllables, 17. And that 17 will be split into 2 parts, every line. First part will have 6 syllables and the next part will have 11 syllables. 6 and 11, 17. 17 in the next line, 17, 17. So we have 17 fours are 68. That many syllables in every shloka. And this meter is called Shikharini. Shikhara means the peak. Shikhara means peak. And Saundarya Lahari is the peak. It is the best of all the poetic compositions by Adi Shankaracharya. So with this, we will start with verse number 1. I'll just chant it once and then just give you the gist. Verse 1 is for all-round success. So even if you learn this one verse today and chant it every day, all-round success guaranteed. And each shloka has a yantra. Just a yantra means a geometrical figure with a bija mantra which is written in the center. So for this verse 1, the bija mantra is Kleem. It's Ka, La, Eem. Kleem. So draw a square with 4 corners. You draw, the yantra is visible. 4 small circles at the corners and then Kleem. This you can draw it in your notebook. You can draw it in front of the deity. God is everywhere. So it is not that you have to do it only in the puja room, nothing like that. Anywhere. Just draw this, write Kleem. If possible, chant this. And every verse of the Saundarya Lahari is only going to take you 30 seconds to chant. So there is no question of saying we have no time. Just exactly 30 seconds it will take. So I will chant. Shiva Shaktya Yukto. Shiva Shaktya Yukto. Yadi bhavati shaktaf prabhavitum. Yadi bhavati shaktaf prabhavitum. Nache devam devo. Nache devam devo. Nakhalu kushalaspanditumappi. Nakhalu kushalaspanditumappi. Atastvam aradhyam. Atastvam aradhyam. Hari hara virinchati bhirapi. Virinchadi bhirapi. Pranantum stotum va. Pranantum stotum va. Katham akrita punyaf prabhavati. Katham akrita punyaf prabhavati. So this verse 1 is saying nothing happens without Shakti, without the mother. Nothing happens without the mother. Only if the mother wills, very, very, very important. Only if the mother wills, that divine mother, that universal mother, that Shri Mata, only if she wills, everything moves. It is she who gives you power. And this first mantra starts, the first word is Shiva. So the first verse starts with Shiva. What is Shiva? Shiva means auspicious. Sarva Mangala Dayini. Saundarya Lahari does only good and good and good. Only auspicious, nothing but auspiciousness. Shivaha. And this Shiva, Shaktya Yukto. This Shiva, Parameshwara, Shaktya Yukto, only when he is united with Shakti. Only when he is with Shakti. Shaktaha Prabhavitum. He is capable of doing whatever he has to do. He is capable of all the cosmic functions if and only if he unites with Shakti. Nachet, if not, evam devaha. Am I audible? Because all are saying, a few of them are saying that there's a lot of interruption.
No, 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 no. It's audible.
You're
Audible?
audible.
Okay, thank you.
Very
Thank you.
clear.
Okay.
Yes, it's clear.
Nachet,
Yes.
if. Okay, okay. Nachet, if not, what if not means? If Shiva does not unite with Shakti alone, na khalu kushalaha spanditumapi. Khalu, certainly, na spanditumapi. Shiva without Shakti cannot even stir, cannot even move. He just cannot move. Shiva becomes a Shava without Shakti. Ataha, therefore, knowing this fact that Parameshwara needs Shakti to do whatever he has to do. In fact, even Albert Einstein says nothing happens until something moves. Nothing happens until something moves. So here, Shiva is not able to move without Shakti's power. Ataha tvam aradhyam. And therefore, Hari Hara Virinchi Akibhihi. Hari is Vishnu. Hara is Rudra. Hari is Vishnu. Hara is Rudra. Virinchi, the one who creates. Brahma, one who is in charge of Rachana is Virinchi, Brahma, Adi, etc. All the other gods. What did they all do? They knew your power, Universal Mother. They knew that without you, nothing happens. And Amma, therefore, what did they do? Tvam aradhyam. They all worship you. Because your power is much, much more than even Brahma, Vishnu and Maheshwara. And therefore, and who is Brahma, the creator? The cosmic function of creation happens because of Brahma. Destruction happens because of Rudra. Sustenance happens because of Hari, Vishnu. And now you are greater than all these people. And therefore, they realized your greatness. They realized your power. And Tvam Aradhyam, all of them fell at her feet. And I believe in the later shlokas, they say, when they all fell at Amma's feet, I believe their crowns, Brahma, Vishnu, Maheshwara, their kirita, which was all studded with all kinds of gems. It looked like they were all doing Nirajana. They were all doing Arati to this great mother. And when Brahma, Vishnu and Virinchi, they were all able to fall at your feet and worship. Amma, today what we are all doing? Pranantum, prostrating. So prostrating, it's your bodily function, kaika. Stotum, we are also praising, chanting verses. So a verbal function, vachika. And if you have to chant about her and if you have to prostrate, definitely manasika. Without thinking about her, you cannot do the other two. Only if you are able to think about Amma in your mind, then only you will be able to surrender and fall at her feet, and then only you will be able to talk about her or praise her. Pranantum stotum va katham, how can akrita punyaha, akrita punyaha, those who have not done punya, those who do not have merits, those who have not carried forward merits, how can they ever, how will they be able to, how will they be able to pranantum, from prostrate to you, or think of you, or praise you. There is no way it can happen. Unless you are blessed, you will not be able to prostrate to this Devi, bow down to her, or praise her, or even listen to her chants. So it is such an auspicious thing today that all the participants here, 201 of us, are into Saundarya Lahari. And the first shloka says, unless you have had a lot of punya, only if you have done punya, you will be able to even recite or even think of Amma. Otherwise, it is not at all possible. And this, I am not saying it is there given to all of us by Shiva. Direct. And this is not even our Adi Shankaracharya's composition, because it comes in the shloka number 1. First 41 was directly what was given by Sadashiva. So all of you, please at least chant this one verse every day and feel, and understand that you're also blessed, because if you are not blessed, katham akrita punyaha prabhavati. If you were not blessed, there was no way you would have got into Saundarya Lahari or attended today's class. There could have been any vighna for you not to attend today's lecture. And we are all really, really blessed to be there in this class. I will read it once more and then move on to just here and there, touch upon few more verses quickly, because I may not be able to do word by word for all the verses because of paucity of time. Shiva Shaktya Yukto Yadi Bhavati Shaktah Prabhavitum Na Chedevam Devo Na Khalu Kushalaspanditum Atastvam Aradhyam Harihara Virinchadibhirapi Pranantum Stotum Va Katham Akrita Punyaf Prabhavati. Next, how did Brahma, Vishnu and Maheshwara, how did they use Amma's dust particles? What did they do with her particles of dust around her feet? So that is verse number 2. Taniyam sampamsum tava charana pankeruha bhavam virinchis sanchinvan virachayati lokan avikalam vahatyenam shaurihi kathamapi sahasrena shirasam harasankshubhyainam bhajati bhasitodhulana vidhim. So I believe Brahma, here Virinchi is Brahma, Shaurihi. So second line, the first word Virinchi is Brahma. Third line, we have Shaurihi, the second word. Then fourth line, Hara, that is Shaurihi is Vishnu in the second line. First line, Brahma, Virinchi. Second line, Vishnu. Third line, Haraha, that is Rudra. So what did they do, all the three of them? Taniyam sampamsum. Pamsum means the dust particles. Where was this dust particles? It was all near Amba's feet. And how much did they get? Not too much. Very, 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 very minute dust particles. So minute that it is so difficult. It is so difficult to even see. Naked eye, you cannot see at all. So what did they do? Tava charana pankeruha bhavam. What was there, Amma, near your lotus feet? Virinchi Brahma, Sanchinvan, he collected, I believe, with great difficulty, he had to collect those dust particles. Not that you could get easily, it was so minute, so minute. That speck, he collected. And what did Brahma do with your dust particles after collecting? Virachayati Lokan. Rachayati, he created. How did he create? Virachayati, specially, Vishesha. That we means specially. He created Lokan, all the 14 worlds. And how did he create all the 14 worlds using your dust particles? And Avikalam, without any imperfections, so perfectly, so beautifully. Brahma created all the 14 worlds. We are saying, oh, Brahma is the creator. But how did he create? Where was the material for him to create? He used, Amma, your minute dust particles. So he collected these minute dust particles at your charana, at your feet, and created all the 14 worlds without any imperfection. And now they are all saying, Shaurihi, Vishnu. What is his work? Sustenance, preservation. It was so difficult, I believe, for Vishnu to sustain, to carry all these 14 worlds which were made by Amma's Padadhul, made by Amma's dust particles. So with great difficulty, Vishnu carried it with 1,000 heads. Sahasrena Shirasam, the 1,000-headed Ananta. With great difficulty, he carried it. And now, Hara, Rudra, what is his work? Destruction. So what did he do with all the 14 worlds which Brahma had created and which Vishnu was sustaining? Hara just comes, powders it. Hara Sankshubhyainam, pulverizes. And what did he do after powdering all the worlds, destroying? Bhajati bhasito dhulana vidhim. Amma, he applied all the dust particles, the ashes, all over his body. So what is the vibhuti, or what is the ash that Shiva has applied all over his body? It is nothing but your Divine Mother, your dust particles from the feet. And now, where are we all? We are all in the world created by Brahma. So first of all, Brahma created all the 14 worlds using Amma's minute dust particles. So we are all created by Amma's minute dust particles. And in that minute dust particles, 14 lokas. And in the 14 lokas, we are in one loka, 1 by 14, Bhuloka. And in that 1 by 14, in that Bhuloka, we are not the only one there. 84 lakh species. So many are there. We are just one in. So we are human beings. In that human being also, so many people are there. And then we are nothing in front of her. We are absolutely nothing, but still we act as if we are everything. So we just have to be grounded, understand that in front of that Sri Mata, we are nothing, nothing, nothing. And what are we supposed to do? Just to be humble, surrender to that great divine force, energy, go down to that energy, sing praises of that great Devi, Sri Mata. Because, so who has created? Now, although we are saying Brahma created, Vishnu sustained, and Rudra destroyed, it is not all of them. It's all done because of her power. So she is the power for all these three people. That's why there is a text called Lalita Sahasranama, 1000 names of Amma. And in that it says, Srishtikartri Brahmarupa Goptri Govinda Rupini Samharini Rudra Rupa Tirodhana Karishwari. Srishti Amma, you are only Srishtikartri, but you are in the form of Brahma. Srishtikartri Brahma Rupa. Goptri, you are the one who is sustaining, preserving. Govinda Rupini, in the form of Vishnu. Samharini, you are the one who is in charge of destruction also. Rudra Rupa. So all the functions are happening only because of you. Only because of you. So this is about her dust particles. And again, for this, the yantra, draw a triangle with Hreem Bijakshara in the middle. Yeah. Triangle with Trishulas on all the three sides, and then you draw this. So every shloka, there is so much to learn. We will just briefly do whatever. Okay, shloka number 4. Okay, the third shloka, I will just quickly go. Okay, third shloka says, it's again on the dust particles on Devi's feet. What does it do? It brings blessings to all the living beings. And what are all the blessings that it brings? Avidya. All of us are ignorant. We don't know so many things, what to do, what not to do. Lack of discrimination. Always confused souls. So what does she do if you're confused and ignorant? She makes you intelligent. She gives you that jnana. She removes that darkness. Timira here is darkness. She removes it. Jadanam, lazy people, dull-witted people. For them, she fills in Chaitanya. So much. And then Daridra. If you're poverty-stricken, she becomes the Chintamani. Chintamani is a wish-fulfilling gem. Whatever you ask will be granted. Such is her power. So that is shloka number 3. Then shloka number 4. Yeah. Verse 4. Yeah, those who want to learn, we will, Sajani will share the number with you people and you can learn later. Yeah. 4. This verse again speaks of her feet. So all the other, then here talks about all the other gods and goddesses. They practically demonstrate and say, okay, I'm going to give you vara. Don't be afraid, like this, you know, the mudras, hand gestures. Whereas Amma, only you, Tvad Anya Panibhyam Abhaya Varado Daivata Ganaha. Daivata Ganaha, all the entire deities, the group of deities, they always have practical demonstrations. Whereas Amma, only you are not doing that. Yeah. Only you are not doing that. Tvam eka naiva asi. Except you. No vara, no abhitya, no abhinaya. There is no abhinaya, no demonstration at all. But still, even though you're not demonstrating, you are still banishing the fear of all your devotees. Bhaya tratum datum. Plus, what else you're doing? Phalamapicha vancha samadhikam. Phalam, you are giving phalam, fruits, results for their prayers. Like I told you, the other component, grace, anugraha, she is giving it. And how much is she giving? Vancha, whatever you ask, not sama, not just what you ask, but sama adhikam, more than what you ask. She's so great, so generous, that she's not just giving you what you asked her for. She's giving you much, much more than what you ask. Phalam apicha vancha samadhikam. You ask for a low income group flat, she will give you a high income group flat, it says. So whatever you ask, she will give you much, much more than that. Yeah. Sharanye lokanam tavahi charana veva nipuna. Amma, only your feet, just you have to just come and surrender at your feet. We just have to fall at your feet, bow down to you. That is enough. What will you do? Your feet, they are capable. Nipuna, they are the specialists, I believe, in granting more than what the sadhaka asks, more than what the child asks. So is it difficult for us to just go down and say, please, we have fallen at your feet, we are bowing down with lot of faith and devotion. Give us whatever we want. You ask and you will get more than what you ask. So that's the greatness of this Saundarya Lahari, verse number 4. Yeah, the Bija Mantra for verse 4 here is Dum. Dum. So each verse will have a Bija Mantra. If you can't chant the shloka, you can even chant the Bija Mantra. But better to learn because it's always better to chant. And yeah, like this we have many more. It's I think time up. Sajini, should I continue another one or two? So what we did was all Ananda Lahari. Yeah.
We can go ahead with one or two more.
Okay, one more.
Yes, yes.
Yeah. All are fine with the time. Is it okay?
Yes, yes, it's fine.
Yeah. One more we can do. Okay. So we will do maybe Pavitri Kartumna instead of, at least purify us. Wash us off all our sins. Maybe we will do that one verse. So now this is 54. I told you from verse 42 to 100, Adi Shankaracharya is talking about Amma's Saundarya, Amma's beauty, starting from her hair. So 43 was hair. I said we will go to 54. That's her eyes. Talking about her eyes. So now here, Pavitri Kartumnaha. Pavitri Kartumnaha. Pashupati Paradhina Hridaye. Dayamitrair Netraihi. Aruna Dhavala Shyama Ruchibhihi. Nadashono Ganga Tapanatanahi Dhruvamamum Trayanam Tirthanam Upanayasi Sambhedam Anagham. So now here he's talking, Shankara is talking about Amma's eyes. Amma, let your eyes purify us. So he's not saying, let it purify me alone. Naha means us, all of us. Shankara is praying for all of us. He's saying, Pavitri Kartum Naha. Let it purify all of us. Pashupati Paradhina Hridaye. The one who has Pashupati in her heart. And how to purify? How are you going to purify us? Daya mitrair netraihi. Netra means her eyes. Your compassionate eyes. Just look at us, Amma. You just have to look at us. That is enough. By your compassionate eyes. And friendly eyes. Mitraihi netraihi. Aruna dhavala shyama ruchibhihi. Aruna is red. Dhavala is white. Shyama is black. With your compassionate eyes, and all of us, our eyes are made up of all these three colors. You have the red, your red, the blood vessels. Dhavala, white, the white part of your eye. Shyama, the black eyeball. Amma, these three are there. Aruna, Dhavala, Shyama, Ruchibhihi. Both eyes. Nada Shono Ganga. And these three, what are they? They are the confluence of the three rivers, Ganga, Yamuna, and Saraswati. Ganga is white, Yamuna is black, Saraswati river is red. So the confluence of these three rivers are there in your eyes only. And what is there? All of us go to the holy place and have a dip where the three rivers meet. Kumbh Mela. All of us went. Sanjani also went. Yeah. So go and have a holy dip there because you will get purified. Now you don't even have to go anywhere. Where is Ganga, Yamuna, Saraswati, Amma? All that are there in your eyes only. So just look at us. That is enough. We will be purified. Trayanam, Tirthanam. All the three Tirthas of all the three holy rivers. That confluence is nowhere but here. And let that confluence purify all of us. Please bathe us with your kripa and wash us of all your sins, all our sins. So this is another shloka on Devi's eye color. Yeah. And sometimes they also say the left eye, right eye, and this third eye, they are the three rivers and they all meet here. Different commentaries. So with this, we can take questions if there are any. Otherwise, we can.
Thank you so much, Rohini ji. And now we will call for questions. Are there any questions? I think in the chat there is one I saw. Any other questions? Kindly put them in the chat or unmute yourself and ask the questions.
What is the figure and shloka number for the shloka before this shloka?
Figure and okay, we will figure and shloka for the shloka which was before. Which one? The fourth one? Dum.
No, not this one. The square one.
What happened? Putta?
No, not this one.
Shloka 1.
Yeah, we will get back. We will.
It's completely what you are, got your plate overflowing. So you just, yeah, beta.
No, not even this one.
Okay, we're not able to.
Another one like.
Please unmute. Please unmute.
No, don't worry, beta. I just simply call because.
Are there any questions? There's someone who says, can you do another session? We really will look forward to that.
Okay, we will definitely do it.
Yes. And anything else?
I have a question.
Yes. Ramesh, go ahead.
Namaste, Rohini ji. It was very
Yeah,
nice.
Namaste.
I was looking at your yantra patterns for the Saundarya Lahari shlokas from 1, 2, and 3, and so on. I know that these are also, like energy portals, because in the olden days, the energy used to come through them if you draw them with the right shloka or mantra. Can we draw these in front of our door in the morning with that bija mantra?
Okay, yeah. See, okay, now you can draw it provided nobody steps on it. Because see, every bija or every mantra or every akshara is nothing but mother.
Yes.
Matrika varna rupini, you say. So, see, if you write a letter, it means it is Amrita, Akarshini, Indrani, like that, for A to Aha, they're all Matrika Devis. So, if you draw it at the entrance of the house and somebody steps on it, it's not
good.
acceptable. Yeah.
Yes. Okay, fine.
So, yeah.
So in a
that's
place
why
where
you
nobody
can-
steps on.
Yeah.
In a place where nobody steps on,
Yeah,
Like in
I
front of
think
the
that's
puja.
yeah, correct.
Okay.
Thank you.
I have a question.
And all these yantras put together is the Sri Chakra. So all 100 will be there in the Sri Chakra
I see.
Ah.
Okay.
put together. Yeah.
Interesting.
So that is Sri Chakra.
Okay. Interesting. Thank you.
And the 11th shloka talks about Sri Chakra also,
I see.
of the Saundarya Lahari.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Gee, there are a lot of people who have appreciated this. They want more sessions on this. Some people want to learn. They want to attend more sessions. They say, can you teach us? We would love to attend more sessions. So a lot of appreciation and gratitude. And a lot of people would like to attend more sessions or learn the Saundarya Lahari.
Sure. So we do have classes on Saundarya Lahari, but already 25 sessions are over. Every Tuesday and Friday, we have these classes from 9:30 to 10:20 in the night.
Okay.
Classes, but we have already gone 25 sessions. We are in verse number 14. So every 1 hour we learn only one verse with meaning, and we chant many times. So we will see if we can start another batch soon and do it. Yeah.
Can you, Meera here, can you do one session exclusively for School of Wisdom, for us, for all the satsangis here?
Sure, we could do. We'll think about it. I'll get back. Definitely we can do.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Definitely, that's a possibility. Any more questions? If there are no questions, what we will do right now is just sit in 2 minutes silence and reflect on the wonderful verses that Rohini ji has explained to us. Let's really think about them. So just for 2 minutes, please do a little bit of manana, a little bit of reflection.
Okay.
सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत् ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः हरिः ॐ श्री देवी अर्पणमस्तु।